welcome back to Cuckoo for Books. My name is Salva and today I'm going to be sharing what I've read in the first 3 months of 2019. This is quite new for me because I usually do monthly wrap-ups of what I've read. The first month of January, I read 2 books and I just didn't think it'd be worth it to have a whole wrap-up dedicated to 2 books that I did book reviews of anyway. And then for February, I was quite busy. And then by the time March rolled around, I was like, okay, I could do a 2-month wrap-up or I could save it for the end of March and then do sort of a first quarter review kind of thing. Also, just to get a little bit of business out of the way, I am currently hosting a giveaway on my channel. It's the video previous to this one. It's the Big Bad Wolf haul, and that's where you're gonna find all the details on how to join and what to do and when it's gonna end, what I'm giving away, all that fun stuff. So I'm just gonna point you towards there. But wait, watch this one first and then you can watch that. Let's get the obvious out of the way. If you've been following me on social media, not that I expect you to because you don't want to follow me, I derp. I don't know, you can follow me if you want. You can follow me, links are down below. So if you've been following me on social media, because thank you, or you've been on this channel for a long time, in that case also thank you, you would know that I spent the first 2 months of 2019 trying to get through this book, and it is Queen of Air and Darkness by Cassandra Clare. It is the final book in her The Dark Artifices series, and it's 880 pages long. You can find my review down below, or I'm gonna link it, or I don't know how does YouTube do it anymore. Do they still do the click over here for the review? Maybe. I'm gonna figure it out. I should know this by now. But this is the final book, and I know she's going to start a new series. Main gist of the trilogy is it focuses a lot on the fairy downworlders and also about parabatais falling in love. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, we are 3 huge series into this world, so you're gonna have to catch up. But this was actually the second book that I finished for this year. The first book I finished this year, I sort of gamed the system, my own system. I don't work by any other system other than my own. I think this is like a book reviewer problem where I was so close to finishing it last year, like around December 30, December 31st. I decided to read really slowly so that I would finish it in 2019. Therefore, it would be counted towards my 2019 book count. Therefore, I could include it in my list of favorite books for 2019 because I had already filmed my favorite books of 2018. Bottom line is I could have finished it last year, but because I wanted to include it in lists this year, I slowed down my reading so I could finish it this year. That's a lot of info. And it is the Romanov Empress by C.W. Gordner. I also did a book review on this because I had people, and by people I mean my cousin and my friend. It sounds like 100 people asked me. No, 2 people asked me when I posted it on social media like, oh, will you be doing a book review on it? And I usually don't do book reviews of historical fiction just because I feel like it's such a niche genre. Then I was like, 2 people asked. That means it must be wanted. So I did do a review of this. This is definitely making my list for 2019. I have been very intrigued by the Romanovs for the longest time. I've got almost a whole shelf dedicated to books, fiction, non-fiction, any kinds, any books about them I will gobble up. And usually what are Romanov books about? Anastasia. This is quite rare for me because it was in fact about Anastasia's grandmama, the one voiced by Angela Lansbury in the animated film. It's been what, 2 months since I've read this and I'm already thinking about giving it a reread. I really adored this, and if you want to know more, you should watch my review on it. The next book I read this year, I decided, you know what, it's almost summer, I am going to kick back with a romance class novel. And I've sort of set a boundary a few years ago where I wouldn't review romance class novels on my channel because I'm clearly biased, but that doesn't mean I'm not still gonna hype it up. This particular book is called Just for the Summer and it's by Justine Camacho Tajonera. It's set in Dumaguete, which I've never been, and now I want to go there. I love the trope of I had a crush on you in college and then years down the road I ran into you and ooh, our spark's gonna fly. Also, you were a playboy before. Can I reform you or should I reform you? Is there anything to reform? I love that trope. 3 guesses why. Also, it has a wedding and I'm a sucker for any book that has a wedding or any movie that has a wedding. Clearly, my first chunk of 2019 has been pure wedding fever. So if you're looking for a good summer read, do pick up a romance class novel, or if you're looking for a good summer event, shameless self-plug, speaking of romance class, they are having their next event on April 27. I will be there. I will be live reading and I can see you there if you want to go, and I'm gonna leave details down below. Self-plugging is weird, but it's not self-plugging because it's romance class's event and they usually put on a dang good show and a dang good event. Going off of wanting to relax after big chunks of books, I did a reread, which I have not done in quite some time, of a very old book. So old that in my thumbnail all the books were pristine and white and clean, and then this one was gross and moldy. It is Secrets of My Hollywood Life by Jen Kalanita. I love this book, and I still do. I think it's one of those series that is so peak 2000s, like reading it, but that's what makes it so nostalgic and such a good read. It's basically about a teen star who's on this popular soap opera who's had it with her life and decides to enroll undercover at a normal high school. And this book was published way before Hannah Montana. Jen just writes amazing. I love the way she writes. This is the first in a series. If you're looking for a good nostalgic throwback 2000 series, I recommend these series because I love it and I wish she would keep writing. She's moved over to middle grade now and I'm like, no, come back to YA, we need you here. The next book I read this year was The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Twitter made me do it. This book has been everywhere on social media in the bookosphere. Everyone's been talking about it. There have been fan accounts, memes, smut about it, and I was like, you know what, author's coming, I'm gonna pick it up. I'm not gonna say anything right now because I do have a review of it coming out, but for now, if you want to watch my interview with the author Holly Black, I'm going to link it right now. The Cruel Prince is set in a fairyland. Human gets kidnapped, grows up in fairy, and tries to become one of them because in fairy, humans are looked down as lesser than them. If you're looking for a good fairy tale and a hot brooding love interest, I know some of you are, then go ahead and pick this up, but for now you're just gonna have to wait until my review to see what I think of it. After reading, you know, something called The Cruel Prince, something very dark, I wanted to go for a lighter book to read, and so I read Geek Arella by Ashley Poston. This was sent to me by my lovely booktuber twin Kerri the Book Bell. I'm also going to leave a link down below to her channel. This was her Christmas gift to me. As you can tell, it's sort of a nerdy modern take on Cinderella, where the ball is a sci-fi convention and the prince plays a prince on a sci-fi show, and our Cinderella is this geek who works at a food truck called the Magic Pumpkin. I really wanted to love Geek Arella because I've heard nothing but good things about it, and it was sent to me by one of my dearest friends here, and I felt like personally it just fell really short of its premise. I did not find the love interest attractive at all. I could not have any sympathy for him. He was very poor little rich boy who is a Hollywood star, but nobody ever gets me, and I'm not gonna talk to any of my co-stars. I don't like anything about my life and I just want to be a nerd, but I still love that I was given this opportunity, but I'm not gonna enjoy it at all. Oh, woe is me, I'm so rich and I'm so famous. I did not find him endearing in any way. I think the only thing that makes up for it was the final scene where obviously our prince and our Cinderella get together. I did appreciate the world building she had. So what the prince and our Cinderella are both fond of is this TV show that kind of sounds like Star Trek, but it's called Starfield, and I really appreciate how the author was able to develop this whole entire TV show with a mythology, with scripts, with this whole fandom behind it. But I thought character development wise, there were so many side characters that weren't fully fleshed out. I did not care for the love interest at all. I really wanted to love it more than I did, and now we're almost fully caught up because I have one last book that I read for the first 3 months of 2019, and it is the arc of Girl Gone Viral by Arvin Amadi. So this arc is actually part of a blog tour that I am a part of. It's the Philippine blog tour of this book, and this is actually not my copy. It's supposed to be shipped around to the next reviewer, which I'm going to do ASAP, I promise. Its pitch is called The Social Network Meets Black Mirror. It's set about, I would say, 30 to 40 years in the future based on what I've read. Virtual reality is the new thing, which in the book is sort of portrayed as the YouTube of that generation. And this girl joins a contest to meet the owner of this VR corporation. She hacks her way to win, and then suddenly she goes viral, Girl Gone Viral, and now she has to deal with the consequences. Also, there's a murder mystery. Also, it's just really good fun. So this comes out officially on May 21st, and oh my gosh, line up for it, pre-order for it. It's really entertaining. Now you're all caught up. That is everything I've read for the first 3 months of 2019. And that about does it for my January to March what I read wrap up. You can follow me on my other bookish adventures on Twitter, at Cuckoo for Books, on Instagram, at Cuckoo for Books, and also at Salva Villarosa. I have a giveaway down there in the link below. Check it out and join. Please subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye guys!